Rally Against Parkinson's is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping those with Parkinson's fight back and live well. In the next 30 minutes, we're going to learn more about this degenerative neurological disease and what the treatment options are in our area. I'm Kristy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. Steve Sappington is the president of Rally Against Parkinson's Harford Incorporated, and he is also a participant here at Rocksteady Boxing. He's going to tell us how Parkinson's affects your life and how this sport can really help to turn things around. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Kristy. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Now, Steve, what is Rally Against Parkinson's?
Rally Against Parkinson's, or RAP, is a all-volunteer nonprofit organization, and we support Rocksteady Boxing, and we strive to be able to provide a resource of excellence for camaraderie, wellness, education, and exercise for everyone with Parkinson's. We fight against a debilitating disease that has no cure.
Can you kind of give us an overview on what exactly Parkinson's disease is?
Parkinson's is a debilitating disease. It affects your mind, and your mind basically stops producing dopamine, and that's the chemical that's needed to be able to connect the brain to your muscles within your body. No one knows the cause of it, on why this happens, but some of the medications are to replace the dopamine that's not in there, like carbidopa, levodopa, and that sort of thing, to be able to reestablish that connection and allow people not to have the tremors and stuff like that. So it's a disease that affects everything related to your body, and specifically your muscles. So if there's, for instance, people have the tremors, and that's basically not keeping what your brain's telling your arm to do or your leg to do on a regular basis, but it robs all of your muscles eventually. Some people lose their speech entirely. Some people, we all lose our balance. But Parkinson's looks different on everybody. Even there's a menu of symptoms that you can have. Not everybody has the same symptoms. Everybody has their own combination of those symptoms, and everybody has their own level of severity of those. So we may look and act differently in public, but most of the symptoms are very, very easily seen out in public. It's either your gait or your ability to walk, or whether you have your feet frozen to the ground like they're in cement. And some people have dyskinesia where they move back and forth like this all the time. So it's many, many symptoms. I've lost my sense of smell and my sense of taste, and that's very common for people with Parkinson's. So being robbed of 2 of your 5 senses is tough, but I look at it like I can eat anything now, so I can eat as healthy as I want. So I've actually lost weight. So it's I'm trying to make a silver lining to the cloud, but it's Parkinson's it's a debilitating disease, and like I said, there is no cure for it. We only have medicines that help address the symptoms. Rocksteady Boxing addresses the symptoms very well, and I'd say even better than the medicines, because you can actually slow down the progression of the disease, and in some cases even reverse the symptoms if you really work hard at Rocksteady Boxing.
Why did you start this organization, and specifically why in Harford County?
That's a good question. I started Rally Against Parkinson's because I wanted to give back to the organizations that gave so much to me, and the organizations are Rocksteady Boxing and their Forest Hill Health and Fitness. They were providing this great program for free. And Rocksteady Boxing is an organization that is also a nonprofit, but they perform, they do the research in terms of what types of exercises directly compete against and provide strength against the symptoms of the disease. Now, obviously, that's not taste or smell, but with the tremors, with the gait, with the balance, balance is a big thing. We all tend to lose our balance, and that's why there's so many falls associated with Parkinson's. But it's a very complex set of exercises that they give you that are designed to work on muscle memory so that your brain can tell your muscles to do something and you do them. Works on eye-hand coordination, works on balance, and works on the cognitive aspects of things because it gives very detailed instructions in terms of what we have to do. So while we're doing the exercises, our brain has to be functioning to say, I'm supposed to do this, this, and this with the very detailed instructions that they give us. So you're exercising your brain as well as exercising your body at the same time.
Why would you say that boxing is so important? What are the many benefits of it?
Rocksteady Boxing is important because the exercises are designed specifically to counteract the symptoms of Parkinson's. So that's why boxing, as it's done up here, and we're the only facility in Harford County that has this program, the only one. So it's important to have this free program available to people that have Parkinson's disease. And it helps with their symptoms so much. It helped me so much that I felt like I had to give back to it. How much does it cost? A lot. Initially you have to pay for all the equipment, which involves heavy bags, speed bags, things that you balance on, that sort of thing. But you also have to pay for the rent of the gym and the instructors. You have to have a place to do it and instructors, certified instructors in Rocksteady Boxing to be able to teach you. And that ensures the quality of the product that we're giving to the people with Parkinson's. So it costs about $50,000 a year to be able to put this program together and to serve the amount of people that we want to serve.
Steve, thank you so much. Thanks for bringing us in. Thank you for giving us a tour of the facility. And most importantly, thank you for what you're doing for Harford County.
Well, thank you so much, Kristy. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I've really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and much more to come. Coming up next, we're going to hear about the various fundraisers and what we can do as a community to contribute to the cause. Stay with us. Ken Rankin is the Director of Fundraiser for Rally Against Parkinson's. He's also a board member, one of the strongest supporters that they have. Ken, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Kristy.
Now, Ken, how did you become a member of the board of directors for Rally Against Parkinson's when you don't actually have Parkinson's yourself?
That's true, I don't. I actually have a very good friend, Steve Sappington, who has the disease. And when I found out about that, I really needed something in my life to become involved with. So it was kind of a natural get-together for us. So I've been involved with the fundraising aspects of this group for a few months now and sit on the board. So it's been very fulfilling for me too.
What do you really hope to contribute to Rally Against Parkinson's?
Right. Well, the major theme of this whole thing is that we get the word out about the disease itself. It's really undersold, I think. Over 1 million people in the United States have this disease, 60,000 new diagnoses every year. Mathematically, we think that there are about 1,000 people here in Harford County that have the disease. So it's impacting a lot of people, and they really don't, the word isn't out for the disease. It's greater than ALS, multiple sclerosis, and muscular dystrophy combined. So a lot of people know about those, and there's certainly been a lot of efforts to bring about a cure. And I think Parkinson's has been kind of in the rearview mirror for a lot of people. So we're looking to really get the word out about what we're trying to raise money for.
I know that it's a new organization, but so far you've had a lot of events on the books. Tell us about some of the events that you have planned.
Yeah, we have 3 events planned. We have a rock and roll bingo planned. We also have a bull roast fundraiser in the fall, and then next spring we're going to have a golf tournament at Mountain Branch in Falston, so it should be a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It should be.
Now, what about the community? Like, what are your biggest needs right now for the organization?
Well, the biggest thing we do is support the Rocksteady Boxing program at Forest Hill Health and Fitness. Basically, we provide funds that allows that program to be done at no cost for the participants. So that's really our main goal. We're also trying again to get the word out amongst the community. Apathy is one of the real keys with this disease. People tend to go into themselves and they don't stay out in the community because of the effects it has on their bodies. So we want to make sure that we're getting the word out that there's treatment and help for them. The boxing program has proven to be a great program to do that, so we really want to promote that message as well.
Ken, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all that you do, and it sounds like we have some really exciting fundraisers coming up.
Kristy, thanks for taking the time to be with us. It's great to see you.
You too. Now, what is it like to live with Parkinson's, and what can we do to lessen some of the symptoms? All those answers are straight ahead. Lisa Baldino is a Rocksteady Boxing participant, and she also suffers from Parkinson's disease herself. She's going to tell us a little bit about her story and how boxing has changed her life. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Lisa, I do have a question for you. Is it true that Parkinson's primarily affects men?
Well, men are most often diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but women are susceptible to it as well. In fact, the ratio is closer than you think. It's 60% men and 40% women. So of the 1 million people in the United States that have Parkinson's disease, that's 400,000 women. And of the people that are diagnosed each year, 60,000 are diagnosed each year, and about 24,000 of them are women. So that's nothing to sneeze at, really. So in answer to your question, yes, 60% men, 40% women, but it's a pretty close ratio.
Being diagnosed at a young age, how has this disease actually impacted your lifestyle?
Well, I was diagnosed at age 44, and I had 2 young children, and I was just starting my own business. So when I was first diagnosed, I denied it for 8 years, really, because I felt like it was a stigma and that it would make me look weak in the workforce. But once my symptoms started to get a little bit worse, I had to start to tell people about it, and I had to, get out there with it. So it did impact my life, just the way I felt about myself and what I was doing. But do you know that the number one non-motor symptom for Parkinson's is apathy? So along with all the physical side effects, people with Parkinson's are sort of afraid or shy to come out of their homes because it's so visible. It's such a visible disease. You can see when there's something wrong. People think there's something wrong with you. You think they're looking at you and so forth. So a lot of people just become apathetic and depressed and don't get out and do anything. But as far as it impacting my life, I refuse to let it impact my life negatively. I make sure that I get out, and Rocksteady Boxing is one way to do that as well. Exercise is not only keeping you fit, but helping Parkinson's patients to move better and live well with Parkinson's.
How did you first learn about Rocksteady Boxing?
A good friend of mine who is a Parkinson's patient and also co-founder of Rocksteady Boxing in Forest Hill told me about it and asked me to come. And I came unwillingly the first time because I do more weightlifting and aerobics, but I loved it when I came, and I came back again and again. And when we started, it was 8 people in 2 classes, and now it's over 130 people and a variety of classes to choose from. So it's really grown, and it's just so wonderful to see all these people. And it's a place where you can feel safe and feel like if you're having a bad day, it's okay. Somebody's there to help you out, and they're there to support you. And if you're having a good day, they're there to cheer you on.
Why is it that exercise is so important to Parkinson's patients? And I know that you do plenty of exercise on your own, but how has it impacted you?
Well, I was always exercising before I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, but I've increased my exercise. I work really hard at the boxing classes, as well as dance and lift weights and do cardiovascular exercises throughout the week. I exercise at least 6 days a week. So it's really helped me because exercise is proven to help Parkinson's patients sort of eliminate or get their symptoms under control. And for me too, the medication sometimes makes me move a lot, and so doing a planned activity like that and a choreographed activity helps me to put my arms and legs in a place and not wiggle around so much because the medication has that side effect.
I know that Parkinson's is a very hard disease to adjust to. How has your family handled the situation?
My family has been so very supportive. My husband knows when to ask for if I need help. He knows when to back off, and he knows what to do. And my kids have been wonderful about it. I think as they have grown older, they understand a little bit more, and I hope that it has made them more tolerant of other people in general. And because I know they have to tolerate me.
I don't think you'd be hard to tolerate.
Thank you,
Lisa. Thank you so much, and congratulations for being as successful as you are with really fighting this disease.
Thank you, Kristy. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Very inspiring. Well, coming up next, we're going to talk to some of the other Rocksteady Boxing participants and find out about their personal stories, how Parkinson's has affected their lifestyle, and how Rocksteady Boxing has improved it.
Hi, my name is Marty Green. I'm a participant here at the Rocksteady Boxing, and I've been part of the program since its very beginning, and it's helped a lot. It really has. One of the things with Parkinson's that people tend to do is when they're diagnosed, they withdraw. And we've had a number of people come in here that's the situation, and the camaraderie and getting to know somebody, getting out of the house has been very therapeutic for a number of people. I stay pretty active. The Parkinson's has probably affected my life and the things I do, maybe 10%. Still got the 90%. And I attribute a lot of that to here. What I said about people with drawings, I know from firsthand. That was my reaction. Oh, you've got Parkinson's? So I'm going to resign from this board and stop doing this. And one of the good doctors at Hopkins said to me, do not do that. You know, stay involved, stay alive and doing things that you like, spiritually, physically, mentally. And I took that to heart, and it kept me from making some of the mistakes.
Hi, I'm Sally. I am a volunteer coordinator for the Rally Against Parkinson's, and the reason I became a volunteer is because I have a loved one and I am a care partner for him. Through the past year, since he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, he learned about Rocksteady Boxing here and started it immediately as soon as he was diagnosed. And I assist him. I also belong to the gym, come here during some of those programs. Not able to take the class with him, but if for some reason he misses a class, we will come and go to the back because we're both gym members, and he'll go through some of the routines and actually teach me and show me the routines they do in class. Because of that and how much I've seen that the Rocksteady Boxing has improved his quality of life and improved his confidence with Parkinson's, I elected and chose to become part of the Rally Against Parkinson and a volunteer coordinator. All organizations, volunteers are the best things for them. You can really assist patients with Parkinson's by helping with the volunteering, donate time, and friends have stepped up and say, hey, I will help you with certain things. So by doing this, he's become more confident when we're out in the public, when it takes him longer to put the money in and out of his wallet, when it takes him longer to do things with eating, takes longer if you're out eating steamed shrimp, peeling the shrimp back. The confidence from doing all this exercise has really helped him. The group here is fantastic. They take an interest in each other. You really become part of a family. They cheer each other at the accomplishments, and when they come back from their doctors and they say how well they're doing, one consistent thing you hear is the doctor say, continue with your Rocksteady Boxing program.
Tyler McGuire is a certified Rocksteady Boxing coach and a personal trainer. He is also referred to by some of your students, we could say, as a certified pain inflictor. Yes. Do you want to address that, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, they like to call me Tyler the Torturer. That's what I get a lot, but they work hard for me.
Now, Tyler, why did you decide to get certified in Rocksteady Boxing?
A couple years back, one of our members came to us and asked if we did anything with people with Parkinson's disease. And at the time, it was kind of a shock to us. We had no experience with working with anyone like that, specifically with Parkinson's disease. So we decided we would give it a shot. And we kind of just slowly evolved step by step. We started with 5 people, and now I think we have 65 people, something like that. Not everybody shows up for every class, but we have a pretty wide range of people that come to us.
I got a chance to see some of your classes, a lot going on there, and there's a ton of equipment in there. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so I kind of start every class the same. I try to teach every class a little differently, but every class starts the same. So the 1-2 class, we start with the dynamic stretch. That's moving around in space, getting a full body stretch in. The 3-4 class, we typically start on the floor in a static stretch that takes any kind of fall risk out of it. From there, I typically try to get a balance station in. It varies every class, depending on who's with me and kind of the help that I have around me. And then from there, we do ladder drills. We'll do practicing writing names on dry erase boards, everyday movements that you and I may not think about, but directly affect them day to day. And then we get into boxing for about 30 minutes, and they get after it pretty good.
Now, you had mentioned to me 1, 2, and 3. Are those different classes, different levels? What does that mean?
So level 1, level 2 are typically people that may have been diagnosed more recent. There are definitely people that are less fall risk, where the 3-4s, they need a little bit more of assistance. I have some helpers that help me with that, which I'm very grateful for them. It gets tough sometimes when you have 15 versus 1. So they help big time with that, keeping people on their feet, keeping people moving, making sure people need drinks if they need it. So the 1-2s are a little bit more advanced. They can move a little bit better, where the 3-4s need a little bit more help.
What do you like most about being involved with this group of people? They seem like such a great group.
Definitely the immediate payback that they get out of this. I get people all the time, they'll come in and they'll say, I'm having trouble walking, I'm having trouble with my shoulder today. By the halfway through class, they're usually moving pretty good, feeling better, and then almost every time after class, they come up and thank me and they say, this totally changed my day, and that hands down is the biggest payback for sure.
Now, as we have said, there's no cure for Parkinson's right now, but the exercise is known to lessen the symptoms, right?
Yep, we've had multiple people, their neurologist has lowered their medication just from the boxing program alone. I also teach a class right before this one that most of my ladies have been coming to, and they've said that that's definitely helping them as well. That's a little bit of weightlifting, a little bit of anaerobic activity. But yeah, the boxing, we've had multiple people multiple times come back and say, I went to my doctor, I got checked up, or I got checked out, and they decided to lower my medications. They said, my balance test is improved, so that's awesome.
How many times a week is it suggested that a Parkinson's patient attend these classes, and how long is each class?
So typical class is always an hour. And again, that includes the warm-up in the beginning, because sometimes people come in, it's more sluggish depending on the weather. It always varies. So typical class is always an hour. And then we recommend anytime, when somebody's first starting out, maybe once or twice a week. As they progress and they feel a little bit better, we pretty much let them go as much as they want, depending on their level.
Tyler, thanks again. Your classes look like a lot of fun, and it looks like it's really benefiting a lot of people in the Parkinson's community.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, coming up next, we're going to speak to the owner of Forest Hill Fitness and find out why he is such a strong supporter of Rally Against Parkinson's.
Rocksteady Boxing don't take a fall.
Rocksteady's got it for one and all.
Rappers Rally!
What do you say?
Donate now and make our day!
Fight back!
Rally Against Parkinson's and Rocksteady Boxing support PD patients in Harford County.
Dennis Cody is the owner of Forest Hill Health and Fitness, and he's here to tell us about his partnership with Rally Against Parkinson's and why he continues to support them and their cause. Hi, Dennis.
Hi, how are you?
Dennis, how did you first get involved with Rocksteady Boxing?
In 2015, we had one of the members of the gym and also a patient of the therapy, Bob Havener, He came up and asked if I could put a boxing bag up for him. And because he had read about this thing, and he has Parkinson's, and he wanted to try to start boxing and all. Of course, we had a bag here. We would hook it up to the ceiling for him. And that's how we got started. And then he went to the support group and asked if he could bring a couple other people that had Parkinson's up. And we, it went from one person to 5 people to 6 people. And then we called the program, in 2015, we called the program Step Into the Ring, because we weren't affiliated with Rocksteady yet. It took us about 8 months to be able to send Tyler and Debbie out to Indianapolis to do the training for Rocksteady. So that was, we've been affiliated with them since August of 2016.
Where does the money come from that allows you to continue offering these classes?
The money comes from donations to nonprofits, okay? The money comes from Pacing for Parkinson's, the Johns Hopkins Movement and Disorder Center nonprofit section. They supported it. They're actually the ones that started with me. Dr. Mary was the director of that at the time, back in 2016. And he's the one that got to help get the program going by funding it. We were funded by an organization called MAPS, and they've cut our funding off. Don't know why, but they have. But then RAP, Rally Against Parkinson's, okay, has been funding for the programs.
Will you continue to offer this to patients free of cost?
Yes, we really like to. When we first started, and Dr. Mary had all the statistics because they keep all that stuff at Hopkins. Like he said, 85% of the people that were their patients, okay, are on limited incomes. So, it's really tough for them to afford anything to be able to come here and do this, okay, get the transportation and everything else. And especially the more progressed they get, the harder it is for them. So yeah, we'd like to keep it for a free program to everybody.
From what you've seen, does attending the classes and the boxing, has it made a difference for some of the patients?
Their quality of life, their doctors will tell you they've cut their medications down, their strength, their balance. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. We had one gentleman who passed away on us, and he was young, he was 51. His plaque is back there, okay? And he was in his 40s when he was diagnosed. He lost his jobs. He was so depressed he didn't do anything, and his legs atrophied, and he was in a wheelchair when he came here. Aww. And about, I guess it was, 9 months after getting him to come here, okay, he went from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane, okay? And then, we actually had a bet. I had a bet with him that if he could walk the circuit without anything, we'd sit down and have a beer. Oh. So, and then, but he contracted pneumonia in both his lungs, and he passed away from it. He decided he didn't want to be trached for the rest of his life, and he do not resuscitate. Oh. But, so I mean, it's, yeah, you see improvement in people. It's immense improvement, but it really is.
As a community outside looking in, what can we do specifically to help this cause?
What can you do to help? Well, make donations to Rally Against Parkinson's, support the Parkinson's programs, because we're growing. We had 9 new people join Parkinson's patients just in June alone. Wow. Okay, I mean, we've got over 68 people right now that are active, where they come at least once or twice a month, okay? Our 4 classes, we average about 250 to 280 people a month attendance. So, and it's growing. And it's growing because there's a lot of Parkinson's patients in Harford County and the surrounding areas. And people don't realize that.
Dennis, thank you so much for letting us use this beautiful facility, and thank you for helping to make such a difference in the lives of people with Parkinson's.
Well, thank you for your help with it, and bye-bye, Chrissy.
Thanks again, Dennis. Although there is currently no cure for Parkinson's disease, exercise has not only proven to be valuable, but can also slow down the progression of the disease. If you would like to learn more about Rally Against Parkinson's, you can always call 443-619-1378 or visit them at rallyagainstparkinsons.org. I'm Kristy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.